right, what's going on, people? Yes, we're back again. This time we got him in the hot seat, Mr. Opeyemi Fabiyi from Data Culture in Lagos, Nigeria. He is the meetup organizer in Lagos. He's also an analytics manager, and he's had the experience of speaking at the DBT conference. Okwe, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Bolaji, for meeting with me. Also, a pleasure for having this conversation too.
Always good to have you back. We had you on the podcast. We're having you here right now again. We want to get some of the insights behind your experience at the DBT conference. You traveled across half a world to actually speak at the DBT conference in Las Vegas. So why don't we go back to the beginning? First of all, could you share a little bit about what your topic was? What did you actually talk about when you were at the DBT conference?
So the topic I spoke about was how to leverage the DBT community as a data team of one or even a solo data team. Pretty much just to share my learning as related to how to leverage a robust, vibrant community as DBT as your extension data team to get all the necessary support that you need to thrive in your data career. Peradventure, if you're a solo data team, or even if you have a larger data team, you could leverage some of the plethora knowledge that exists in that community to guide everything you need to do.
Was the DBT conference your very first time being on stage, or had you invested time in public speaking before as a data professional?
So I would say that was like my first major global conference. I've spoken in some local meetups in Nigeria, but that's like the first time I would be talking to a global audience. It's almost like I had that news of, oh, is my topic exciting enough? What exactly do I want to talk about? Do I have that experience to talk to this global audience? So that's like my first major global conference.
I see. Very interesting. You know, I often wonder why data professionals, especially technical data professionals, might even consider doing public speaking. It seems like you've been investing in it for some years. Why did you decide that this was something important for you professionally to do?
Yeah, sure. I think for me, it was more or less like one, I want to be able to just share some of the learning I'm getting while implementing the solution in my current role. And most importantly, developing the ability to communicate some of those technical details in a way such that it can be digestible to whoever the audience are. Because I know it's very easy as technical people to just get down into the technical details, but how do you then learn to zoom out and then communicate in a way such that without diving into technical details, you are still able to share the impact of whatever solution you're building? So I needed to develop that muscle, and that's why I felt like investing in public speaking, such as just finding ways to share knowledge on things I'm doing or some of the learnings I'm getting would help me develop that muscle, such that it become much easier for me to even now expedite that knowledge, even in my day-to-day with stakeholders and different clients that I interact with.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense. You know, here's the challenge, though, Okwemi. For some of us, we're naturally wired, naturally inclined to be maybe more extroverted, maybe more comfortable communicating. And then others of us, let's be honest, we're
Yeah.
introverts, we're maybe shy. It's not that natural for us. Which one were you? Were you that young kid who was always at the front of the class cracking jokes, or were you the more reserved kid who was you just wanted to do your work and you didn't want to publicly speak? What was your natural wiring?
I think I would say I'm in between. So I can't be quiet when I want to, depending on the environment I'm in. And in some instances where I feel much comfortable, I could just be that extroverted person. So I'll say I'm in between, not necessarily well reserved or that extroverted. It all just depends on where I am at every point in time. So I guess that's why it makes it much easier for me when I say I want to now develop that skill set to be more extroverted and develop that skill set where necessary. It wasn't like a struggle as it were.
I get that. I get that. Okay, so the question I would ask then, Okweyemi, is for data professionals who have maybe never spoken from stage before, they're considering uh, applying to speak at DBT's conference, but maybe they don't feel like they are the foremost expert on their topic, or they don't feel like their topic is exciting enough, what might you say to them to encourage them to still apply?
I think I would say if you've worked on one or two projects, trust me, you probably have a lot to share without knowing. I know I felt that way too when I was looking for a topic to share, but when I had the conversation with Julia and also Amanda, they were like, oh, it doesn't have to be groundbreaking. You don't have to build a new macro or the new package. Trust me, it might just be some learning that you came across while working in the trenches. And trust me, somebody might be dying in the audience just to know some of those things that become like a normal for you as relates to, let's assume, a new approach or how you're implementing a solution. It's normal to you, but trust me, someone in the audience just wants to hear how you are doing it, and it's going to help them increase their productivity. So I say all of that to say this: if you work on one or two projects, you've learned some things that somebody else doesn't know. That's just all you need. Just figure out and just come and share it. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It can be as simply as possible. Or, oh, this is how you approach documentation. These are the learning that you've adopted, and someone will definitely get a lot of value from it.
I like that a lot, Opeyemi. I'm reminded actually in this age of AI, where a lot of times the correct answer, I'm doing double quotes, the correct answer, you can get it if you go to AI, but
Yep.
the AI doesn't always have context
Yep.
or nuance that might
Yeah.
fit your particular situation. And it sounds like it can be really valuable to hear from somebody else who is not necessarily the guru or the
Yep.
world expert, but someone who is working in a situation similar to yours
Exactly.
and has taken an approach you didn't think of.
Exactly. And that's just the learning for one or two person in the audience.
Mm, mm. I like that. Okay, so one more question. The nerves. How did you feel any nerves either when submitting your proposal or right before going on stage? And if so, how were you able to work through those? Because that can be a blocker. That can stop a lot of people.
Yeah, I did had some nerve while submitting. Like I said, it was a question of, is my topic even good enough? Will people want to
Mm,
listen to me? And yes, I'm not an expert, like you said. There are a lot of people that I look up to who would also be sharing on the same stage. So I had all of those nerves, but at the same time, it was a case of I've implemented those things. They've helped me do my job well. I'm sure maybe one or two person will also learn from this same thing I want to share. And yes, the night before, I was panicking as well to, oh, how am I going to introduce my topic? What exactly am I going to say? But I guess,
uh,
as people would say, the fact that I'm nervous about this thing just means that I'm so passionate about delivering a valuable content and I just want to do a good job. So that pretty much just helped me to prepare more, to articulate my thoughts, know how I want to share what exactly I want to present. And that just helped me come out well during the actual presentation that I end up getting a lot of feedback I didn't even imagine I would get.
wow, 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 wow. That's cool. That's cool. I actually want to dig into that a little bit more, but I mean the feedback. So I'd love to hear your perspective on the aftermath. So both at the conference,
Yeah.
what was your experience after being on stage? And okay, you can exhale, you have the relief, but did you have interactions with people? I'd love to hear about that. I'd also love to hear about whether speaking from stage has had a positive impact on your career.
Yeah, speaking to the later before the first question, it has. I think one thing that helped me to do is, aside the fact that it helped me to build that confidence. So now I know if I've spoken at Callers our DBT
Yeah.
Summit, that means I can't submit my talk anywhere else because that's like the largest gathering of analytics engineers in the world. So it kind of just gave me a boost in terms of my confidence. And
Wow.
in terms of interaction with other people, it also just allow other people to see what's possible. So I was able to get feedback from people that probably a year later and say, "Oh, I stumbled on this your talk at DBT Summit. Can you dig further into it and give me some context?" And it kind of just make me in quote in that moment, a thought leader who is able to guide someone based on what I've done, just because he stumbled on the conversation I had as related to the topic. So I think from my career point of view, it kind of just helped me one build that confidence, and secondly also put my name out there such that it becomes like a knowledge repository that everyone can reference at every point in time, years down the line when I've actually forgotten I spoke about a topic in 2021, 2022.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. That's actually very exciting because a lot of us think about the moment on stage, the 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You are painting this picture of a long tail.
Yeah.
Long after you've left the stage, people are finding you online. People who are in the audience are still reaching out to you. And that sounds like it can have echoes throughout one's career. So I'm actually very excited to hear that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been an amazing learning opportunity, actually.
This is great. This is great. All right, so Opeyemi, we're going to let you get back to your busy day. Thank you for making time. We're hoping we're going to see you at DVT Summit this year. That would be a treat for us. So hopefully you can be in the building. Folks, if you have not met Opeyemi yet, he's very active in the Slack community. And again, hopefully you can meet him at Coalesce. Opeyemi, Analytics Manager at Data Culture, thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you so much, Bolaji, for having me. Yes, I'm looking forward to the experience at the BT Summit this year.
Let's go. All right, folks, we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.